check. coming to you live from the McPherson Academic and Athletic Complex here on the beautiful campus of the University of Mount Union. You are tuned in to round one of the NCAA tournament. We are glad to bring it here for you on the Mount Union men's basketball live stream and 91.1 WRMU as the Mount Union Purple Raiders play host to the Stevens Ducks here in today's first round matchup. My name is Jacob Batara. Alongside me, as always, is the great Davis Roby, and Mount Union, they're playing host to first and second round action here this weekend, of course, and so they will be playing host today to the Ducks. And taking a look now at the Stevens Ducks, they come in today with 16-8 record overall. They were the winners of the MAC Freedom. They won that championship game as they defeated Wilkes University, Misericordia University, and of course defeated Lycoming College 71-68 in the MAC Freedom championship game. So Davis, taking a look at the Stevens Ducks, who stands out to you as some of their key players here tonight?
Yeah, the key player for the Stevens Ducks is going to be Alec Petcher Antonio, and he currently leads the team in scoring with just under 14 per game with 13.9, and also leads the team in rebounds with 6.6. But in the championship game against Lycoming, Alec Petcher Antonio led the way with 21 points and 10 rebounds, while Jack Spellman had 13 points and 8 rebounds, and Connor Coffey had 12 points and held Lycoming to 36% shooting, but also scored 36 points in the paint. So a point of emphasis right there for Stevens is they like to get in the paint, get physical, get dirty, but also does a great job on the defensive side of the ball, holding Lycoming to that 36% shooting from the field.
Yeah, I like how you mentioned right there controlling the paint. That's really the name of the game for Stevens. They average around 42 rebounds per game as a team all throughout the season. They're an incredible defensive team as well. They only score around 67 points per game, but they're only giving up 63 points per game, allowing opponents to just 35% shooting from the floor and 29% from the three-point line. So very good defensive team in the Stevens Ducks. And now taking a look, of course, at the host, the Mount Union Purple Raiders. The Purple Raiders, they finished the regular season and the OAC tournament play 23-4 overall. They were the OAC runner-ups after defeating John Carroll 93-65 and Heidelberg 68-65. They fell in a very instant classic game against Marietta 63-61 in the OAC championship, but they get that at-large berth here. Davis, who are we looking out for here tonight for the Purple Raiders?
Yeah, for the Purple Raiders, in particular, you're looking at Christian Parker, averaging 19.4 points per game, the second on the team with just over 8 rebounds per game. But in the last game out against Marietta in that OAC championship game, Christian Parker led the Raiders with 19 points and 13 rebounds, as Braden Poole also has 14 rebounds, but Chris Painter Jr. had 11 points and 5 assists. Team only shot 37% from the floor and only 27% from deep. So obviously, you need to get a better shooting performance from the Raiders if they want to win this game tonight. But let's not forget Christian Parker and Ethan Stanislawski were both named to All-OAC first teams, as Braden Poole was named to the All-OAC second team as well.
Yeah, that's for sure. The Raiders have a lot of key contributors all up and down this roster, and this is a hungry team as well. Of course, they lost that OAC championship game by a narrow margin, and it was just 2 years ago when COVID halted their most recent postseason run in the NCAA tournament. So the Raiders really trying to reclaim what they lost 2 years ago, which looked like potentially a Final Four appearance and maybe even a national championship. Who knows? But the Raiders right now coming today, despite the loss to Marietta in the OAC championship, still is a red-hot team, obviously playing host for the first and second round matchups. And now it's important to note, too, the winner of this one will face Williams in the second round tomorrow. Williams came away with a dominating victory earlier here today, 95-57 over Newman University. That game tomorrow will be set also for a 5:50 tip. So the winner of this one will face Williams in the second round there. Lots of other games going around in the men's basketball tournament as well. We'll keep you updated all throughout the broadcast here. But without further ado, that buzzer has sounded, and we are going to be getting things started here very shortly after some announcements and also the announcement of the starting lineups. So while we have a short break, let's take a look at some scores from the Mount Union side, from the Mount Union region of the bracket. Wabash is currently defeating Barry right now 50-42 with 17:01 left to go in the second half of that one. Of course, like I mentioned, Williams won the earlier game here today at Mount Union. And then, of course, Wheaton right now currently leading Hope 50-47, 14-14 left to go in that one. Some other winners earlier today in this one. Pomona Pitzer came back to win 67-66 in a classic game against Northwestern St. Paul to really come back. They were down a lot throughout that whole entire game. Oswego State also defeated Hood 82-73 earlier today. And of course, in the game that tipped off the NCAA tournament, Johns Hopkins defeated Yeshiva by a final score of 63-59. And lastly, for the final scores so far today in the NCAA tournament, UMass Dartmouth defeated Emerson 86-83. And actually, we just got another final score update here as well. Penn State Harrisburg defeated St. Joseph, Connecticut by a final score of 63-53. And so after all those final scores, we are now going to get set here for the starting lineups for today's game. First, let's take a look at the Stevens Ducks. The Ducks are led by Bobby Hurley in his 14th season at the helm here for the Ducks, and their starting lineup consists of the graduate guard from Westfield, New Jersey, number 2, Matt McCourt, the junior guard from Monroe, New York, number 20, Connor Coffey, the junior guard from Westfield, New Jersey, number 25, Matt Crowley, the freshman forward from Westfield, New Jersey as well, number 32, Jack Spellman, and lastly, the graduate student from Ocean City, New Jersey, who Davis touched upon in the opening, Alec D. Petrantonio, number 41 there, the forward center for the Stevens Ducks. And now taking a look at the starting lineup for the Mount Union Purple Raiders here this evening, they, as always, are led by 11th year head coach Mike Fewine. Their starting lineup consists of the junior guard from Akron St. Vincent St. Mary High School, number 3, Chris Painter Jr., the senior forward from Twinsburg, Ohio, number 13, Darrell Newsom, the senior guard from Massillon Jackson High School, number 24, Ethan Stanislavski, the senior forward from McDonald, Ohio, number 30, Braden Poole, and lastly, the senior forward from Massillon Jackson High School, number 41, Logan Hill. And so it's do or die here in the NCAA tournament, as just looking to survive and advance at this point. As like Kelly mentioned, the winner will face Williams in the second round action here tomorrow, 5:50 tip here at the MAC. As we are so glad that you're with us here on the men's basketball live stream and 91.1 WRMU. As the Raiders come out in their all gray attire while Stevens is in that maroon colors. And both teams getting set here for the opening tip, as it'll be Jack Spellman jumping with Logan Hill as game 2 here at the MAC is set to get underway. And the ball is up, and Stevens will win the opening tip here as Connor Coffey brings things up for the Ducks. He hands it off to Matt LaCourte. LaCourte will give it up to Jack Spellman. Spellman now over to Coffey. Coffey will feed D. Petrantonio down low inside. D. Petrantonio looks to go to work on Logan Hill. His shot's too strong off the glass. Rebound to Braden Poole. Stanislavski brings things up now for Mount Union, as he will give that one up to Newsom. Newsom now over to Poole, who swings it over to Chris Painter Jr. Painter now over to Stanislavski, who gives it up to Logan Hill in the high post. Hill tried to feed Braden Poole down low inside, but he falls to the ground. Luckily, though, that was last off. Stevens will remain Mount Union ball.
Yeah, and it was a good look right there from Logan Hill, trying to get that ball down to the post to Braden Poole, but it looked like Poole might have slipped or something. But like you said, Jacob, last off Stevens as Mount Union retains possession.
Stanislavski will inbound it, and a hard collision there from Darrell Newsom as he goes airborne and he runs into Matt Crowley. They're actually going to call the foul there on Darrell Newsom, say it's an over-the-back foul, so it's going to be Darrell's first personal foul, first team foul of the half for Mount Union. Just about 40 seconds into this one, still scoreless here on 91.1 WRMU as Matt Crowley brings things up. He will hand that one off to Coffey. Coffey now gives that one on up to LaCourte. LaCourte now down low inside to D. Petrantonio. D. Petrantonio's shot is no good. Rebound to the Raiders.
Yeah, good defense right there from Logan Hill. Both times against D. Petrantonio in the post, as there's going to be a foul here on the floor.
Yeah, at the other end, Stanislavski fires up a quick mid-range shot. Braden Poole goes in for the putback, but he gets fouled right there by Jack Spellman. So it's going to be Spellman's first personal foul. First team foul of the half as the Raiders have it out of bounds from underneath the basket. And out of the out of bounds, Chris Painter Jr. now kicks it out to Newsom. Newsom now fires up the mid-range shot. That's an air ball, and the rebound into the hands of Matt Crowley. Crowley brings things up here for the Ducks as he goes up for the layup. That one's good. Stevens strikes first there on top, 2-0.
Yeah, great drive right there from Matt Crowley. Was able to get an extra step right there on Braden Poole and lay it in right there for the Stevens Ducks.
So we have a 1-2-2 press, and Mount Union's just too casual with it going over the half-court timeline. They're going to get called for a 10-second violation. You don't normally see that very often in men's basketball, but nonetheless, it's a turnover for the Raiders. Ball right back to Stevens. Now, Stevens came out in that 1-2-2 press, definitely disrupted Mount Union there as they forced the early turnover. Crowley will inbound it now, right in front of that Raider bench. A minute and a half into this one, it's still just 2-0 Stevens here on 91.1 WRMU. Is Coffey now, looks to go to work, he drives, kicks it out to LaCourte, who fires up the open three. That one's good. First 5 points to the Ducks.
Yeah, Coffey giving that pass to LaCourte. Ethan Stanislavski a little, as Stanislavski gets the ball taken away from him, and Matt Crowley puts it up and in for the Stevens Ducks.
Back-to-back turnovers for the Raiders makes it now 7-0. Make it another turnover, and Stevens is really getting fired up into this one. Chris Painter Jr. just simply runs over the Stevens defender. He's going to get called for the foul. The ball will go right back once more to Stevens.
Yeah, not some great basketball right here from the Purple Raiders, as they need to just honestly just slow the ball down a little bit, not be too casual with it, of course, after getting called for that 10-second backcourt call.
Crowley gives it to Spellman, who fires up a three, gets the friendly bounce. Stevens is rolling early in this one. On top now, 10-0. Mike Feuerlein is going to take a timeout as Stevens scores the first 10 points here. Davis, so far, what are you liking right now from the Ducks as they get out to this 10-point lead on the Raiders?
Yeah, the Ducks are doing a great job on the defensive side of the ball, disrupting the Purple Raiders and everything that they've been trying to set up on the offensive side of the ball, from that 10-second violation to the steal from Ethan Stanislavski. Just doing a great job on defense. Needs to keep it up if they want to keep pushing that lead more than just 10 points, as the Purple Raiders are struggling to even score the first basket of the half.
That's for sure, and like how I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Stevens is well known for their defense, really holding opponents to under 40% field goal percentage all season long. It's showing so far. They've forced a lot of Raider turnovers, and the Raiders have yet to score here 2.5 minutes into this one. Painter's able to break that press. He gives it up to Braden Poole. Poole now drives baseline, kicks out to Newsom, who fires up the open corner three. That one's good. Raiders on the board now, trailing 10-3.
Good move right there from Braden Poole to go to the baseline, as deep catcher Antonio just takes that layup nice and easy for the Stevens Ducks.
Yeah, deep catcher Antonio just gets ahead of the pack right there, gets to the rim for the easy two. It's 12-3 Stevens. They are coming out guns a-blazing here, as it's now Ethan Stanislavski with the Ducks in a 2-3 zone. Poole fires a shot up from the free throw line. That's no good. Rebound to the Ducks. Crowley brings it up now for Stevens. He takes a screen from Spellman, and he will give it up to Spellman, who gives it right back to him. Crowley now fires up the mid-range shot. That's well short, into the hands of Logan Hill. Painter now will bring it up for the Raiders. Swings it in the corner to Newsom, who gives it up to Braden Poole. Poole goes up for the layup. That one's good. And an and-one opportunity upcoming for Braden Poole, as it's now 12-5 Stevens.
Yeah, beautiful find right there to get Braden Poole the ball, driving to the lane, as Logan Hill's going to be coming out for Christian Parker. But Braden Poole, great layup right there. Able to get it in against Matt Crowley, and is up at the line for one.
So Poole's free throw is up. That one's no good. Score remain 12-5 here. Spellman comes up with the rebound. Matt Crowley walks things up now for Stevens. Incredibly fast start here for the Ducks. Let's try to feed it down low inside to deep catcher Antonio, but that one's stolen away by Stanislavski. Stanislavski now bringing things up with a step back move, fires up the three. That's short. Rebound into the hands of Crowley, and Braden Poole is going to get called there with a reach-in foul. So that's going to be Poole's first personal foul here, third team foul of the half for Mount Union.
Yeah, Braden Poole just a little too aggressive right there on that play, trying to force a turnover and get an easy basket for the Purple Raiders, but was being called for the reach-in foul.
First substitution here of the evening for Stevens Ducks. It'll be number 5, Mike Goodall, the sophomore from Toms River, New Jersey. He brings it up now for the Ducks as he drives inside. Nice contest by Parker, forces the miss as Christian Parker comes up with that rebound. Stanislavski now brings it up for Mount Union. He will take a screen from Christian Parker. Now he dumps it off to Newsom. Newsom tries to feed it down low. He's able to do so to Parker. Parker draws that double team immediately, and he's going to draw the foul as well. The other one's going to be on Goodall, and Goodall is going to get called for his first personal foul, 13th foul of the half.
Yeah, and Goodall just came up behind Christian Parker to force that double team. Just a little too aggressive right there on Parker, trying to find someone to pass the ball to.
Mike Scariotis, the freshman from Massillon-Jackson, will check in for the first time here tonight. As Stanislavski inbounds it to Poole. Poole fires up a floater. That's no good. Rebound into the hands of the Ducks. Coffey now brings it up for Stevens. Still on top here, 12-5 on 91.1 WRMU. As Antonio goes up for the shot. It's blocked by Parker, and they're going to say it was last off Ethan Stanislavski. However, ball will remain with the Ducks as we have an official's timeout here on the floor. Stevens still on top in this one by a score of 12-5.
Yeah, and that was good defense right there from Christian Parker going up against Alec Antonio, and was able to disrupt the shot. Stood up strong right there, just like Logan Hill had done previously against Antonio. So Mount Union trying to find a groove right here on offense, but keeping up the defensive pressure is definitely a winning recipe for them right now.
That's for sure. The Raiders started out 2 for 7 in this one. It's good for 28% from the floor, while Stevens, after a much faster start, they started out 4 for 6. They're 1 for 4 in their last 4 shots. Still a solid 5 for 10. Good for 50% in this one. They've also knocked down both their 3-point attempts, as Stevens right now on top of the host Mount Union Purple Raiders by a score of 12-5. Taking a look at some scores from around the NCAA tournament right now, Wheaton is in a close game with Hope. 15:33 left to go in that one. On top by a score of 56-54. 11:40 left to go in the other game that's going on in the Mount Union region here. The Bosch is currently on top of Barry by a score of 61-56. As both teams come back onto the court here. For the Raiders, it's going to be Mike Scariotis, Ethan Stanislavski, Christian Parker, Braden Poole, and Darrell Newsom. And for the Stevens Ducks, it is going to be Mike Goodall. It's going to be Alec Antonio. It's also going to be Matt LaCourte, who now has it out of the timeout, as well as Jack Spellman. And lastly, it'll be Connor Coffey. Coffey now puts up the mid-range shot. That one's no good off the glass. Rebound to Christian Parker, as Stanislavski brings it up now for the Raiders. Stanislavski takes a screen from Christian Parker. Now feeds it cross court over to Scariotis. He hesitates, drives, puts up the floater. That's well short. Followed his own shot, but the rebound to the Ducks.
Yeah, and that was a good move right there from Scariotis to drive into the lane. Floater just comes up a little short.
Goodall will give that one off on the perimeter to Coffey. Coffey gives it right back to Goodall. Goodall now gives it up to Spellman, who fires up the 3. That's no good. Followed his own shot, though, and he will grab that rebound, keep the possession alive here. Antonio now kicks it on over to LaCourte, who fires up a 3. That's no good. Once more, Spellman's active on the glass, though, and it's a third chance here for Stevens, but they turn the ball over. That pass from Goodall just too high. That will go back to Mount Union.
Yeah, and Darrell Newsom did a great job right there, pressuring that pass, coming over to Matt LaCourte, but the pass just sails over LaCourte's head as Mount Union breaking that press right here.
They break the press indeed as Poole now drives, kicks it out to Newsom for the 3, and Darrell Newsom, he's got 2 threes now for Mount Union. It's 12-8 Ducks. So Goodall now will give that one off to Spellman. Spellman now on the perimeter gives it up to Coffey. Coffey looks to drive. He goes up for the layup. That was too strong off the glass. Once more Spellman trying to keep the possession alive, but it's into the hands of Scariotis. Scariotis ahead of the pack. A nice strip right there from Mike Goodall. Will force the ball to go out of bounds. Ball will remain with the Raiders.
Yeah, good defense right there from Goodall after Scariotis comes up with the turnover for the Purple Raiders. Goodall putting himself in a position not to foul Scariotis and just strip the ball away. Good defensive IQ right there.
Matt Crowley will return here off that Duck bench as Christian Parker gets it, and he will hand that one off to Scariotis. Scariotis now with 19 on the shot clock gives it to Stanislavski. Around the perimeter, the Raiders go once more to try to break this 2-3 zone. Scariotis now over to Stanislavski. Fires up a shot. It's not going to count, though, as there's going to be a foul on the floor. That's going to go on Matt LaCourte. So for LaCourte, that's going to be his first personal foul, 14th foul of the half. So Ethan Stanislavski will now inbound it for Mount Union. as he gives that up to Christian Parker. Parker now looks to drive, puts up the hook, and that one's good. Christian Parker, his first 2 points on the evening, makes it 12-10 Stevens.
Yeah, good shot right there from Christian Parker, being able to get it over Spellman, the lengthier man in the situation, as Alec Petrantonio takes it up against Christian Parker and puts it in, gets the foul call as well. So Petrantonio going up to the line for an and one opportunity.
Yeah, great pump fake right there by Petrantonio. Got Christian Parker off his feet, and he gets the shot to go. Now with that and one opportunity, Parker gets his first personal foul. Fourth team foul of the half for the Raiders. As Petrantonio's shot is no good. Score remain 14-10 here. The Raiders are on a 10-4 run, responding from that 10-0 start by the Ducks. Stanislawski now over to Scariotis. Scariotis over to Poole. Now around to Stanislawski, who fires up the three. That's short. Rebound into the hands of Goodall. Goodall brings it up now for the Ducks, looking to go coast to coast down low inside. A great pass to Petrantonio. He just missed the easy layup. Rebound to Stanislawski. Stanislawski now head of the pack, gives it up to Newsom, who fires up a corner three. That one's good. Darrell Newsom's red hot. He's got 9 points now. It's 14-13 Ducks. It's at the other end. Crowley comes running down, and he's going to travel. Great defense by Stanislawski, forces the turnover. The Raiders have a chance to take their first lead on the evening on this next possession.
Yeah, and the Raiders definitely battling back from that early struggle, like you said, Jacob, down 10-0, being able to pull it back 13-14. Good outing so far. Good adjustment for the Purple Raiders to start getting some points against this tenacious defense that the Stevens Ducks have.
Scariotis gives that up to Stanislawski. Stanislawski down low to Braden Poole. Poole fires up a floater. It's no good. Grabs his own miss, though. His putback's no good. Rebound to the Ducks. It's bringing it up now is Crowley. Crowley looks to drive. It's blocked by Christian Parker into the hands of Stanislawski. Raiders have the numbers. He gives it up to Scariotis, who fires up a three, and Matt Crowley returns the favor with a block of his own. Chaotic sequence here as Goodall now goes up for the shot, gets it to go, and the Ducks are now on top in this one, 16-13.
Yeah, just a sequence of blocks right there. Christian Parker and then Matt Crowley coming out of nowhere to block Scariotis' shot there. Just overall good defense from both teams as Goodall makes just the better play on the offensive side of the ball for the Stevens Ducks.
Scariotis, extra pass over to Stanislawski, fires up the three. That's short. Into the hands of Newsom, though, and Darrell Newsom, he's got 11 points now for Mount Union. Makes it 16-15 Ducks.
Yeah, Newsom not known usually for his scoring, but more for his three-point scoring, as he does have he is 3 for 3 in tonight's game from beyond the arc, but he's mostly known as that lockdown defender for the Purple Raiders.
Crowley's scoop layup is no good. Fight for the rebound. Poole comes up with it, and Stanislawski will bring it up now for Mount Union. Scariotis now hesitates, drives, kicks out to Newsom. Does he have a fourth one in him? He does! Darrell Newsom, 4 threes now. He's got 14 points. The Raiders with their first lead tonight, 18-16.
Yeah, Newsom really coming out of nowhere for the Purple Raiders, put on a great scoring performance so far.
Raiders, after trailing 10-0 early on in this one, are on an 18-6 run to take their first lead. That shot is short by Goodall. Parker now up ahead to Newsom. Newsom tried for the dunk, but he couldn't get it to go. The rebound into the hands of Goodall. Goodall now gives it up to Crowley. Crowley goes up for the layup. That one's no good, but the foul is going to go on Braden Poole. It's going to be Poole's second personal foul. 15th foul of the half. Raiders have fought all the way back here to take a 2-point lead. We're going to get an officials timeout on the floor as Mount Union currently leading this one by a score of 18-16.
Yeah, and both teams are very similar tonight so far in shooting in this game, as both teams are actually 7 for 20 shooting, which is 35% clip for both teams. And funny enough, even though the Stevens Ducks have taken 4 less threes than the Purple Raiders have, they are both shooting 50%, as the Stevens Ducks are 2 for 4, as the Purple Raiders are 4 from 8. But Mount Union has been doing a good job in being able to come back in this game, as they're, like Jacob said, took their first lead of the game right now, 18-16, being able to put better defensive pressure on the Stevens Ducks, but not only that, being able to take care of the ball as well, as they have not committed many turnovers since they had that 10-0 deficit to start the game.
Yeah, the Ducks came out red hot. They shot 4 for 6 to start this game. They're now 3 of their last 14 shots. Raiders still, like Davis mentioned, also shooting 7 for 20. But Darrell Newsom by himself right now is 5 for 7 for Mount Union. The rest of the squad just 2 for 13. Newsom is also 4 for 4 from the three-point line. So right now, Darrell Newsom single-handedly giving Mount Union the lead here, as Matt Crowley will head to the free throw line here. He will shoot 2. Crowley is the junior guard from Westfield, New Jersey. His free throw is up and in. As a substitution for the Raiders out of that timeout, Chris Painter Jr. will return for Mount Union. And checking in here for the first time tonight for the Stevens Ducks, it'll be number 11, McGuire Sweeney. As the second free throw is no good, Mount Union still holding on now to a 1-point lead on top, 18-17. Chris Painter Jr. now has it. Takes a screen from Logan Hill, who also checked into the game for the Raiders. Nice step back move from Painter. Just couldn't get the shot to go. Rebound into the hands of Sweeney. It's now Crowley bringing it up and giving it up to Sweeney, who fires up a 3. That's no good. Ball's tipped into the hands of Mike Scariotis. Scariotis brings it up now for Mount Union. He takes a screen from Logan Hill and kicks it out to Christian Parker. Parker thought about the 3, now fires one up. That's well short into the hands of Goodall. Goodall now tried to hand that off to his teammate, but it was knocked out of bounds there by Scariotis. Ball will remain with the Ducks.
Yeah, and good job of Scariotis, kind of just looking around, seeing what he could do, and just poke that ball away from Goodall, which is why Stevens Ducks are taking the inbounds at the baseline.
Sweeney now has it. He will kick that over to Spellman. Spellman now gives it up to Goodall. 15 on the shot clock here, as it's right back inside to Spellman, but it's stolen away by Painter. Painter now brings it up, kicks it over to Newsom. Does he have a 5th 3? He does! Darrell Newsom has 5 3-pointers, 17 points overall. It's 21-17 Mount Union. Crowley now at the other end, drives it, stolen away once more by Painter. Painter now up top to Parker on the break. Parker on that alley-oop is going to get fouled right there by Sweeney, and that's going to send Christian Parker to the free throw line here for 2.
Darrell Newsom, have yourself a day so far. He is just exploding for the Purple Raiders as of right now. 5 for 5 from beyond the arc. And not only that, he's been a great contributor on the defense side of the ball for the Purple Raiders as well.
Yeah, that's for sure. And what a time to do it as well if you're Darrell Newsom, as Parker's first free throw is short. Checking back in here for the Ducks will be Alec DiPietrantonio and Matt LaCourte. Newsom, though, just having a heck of a start in this one. Now, the all-time three-point record is 11 threes made in the game. Newsom's actually on his way to that right now, obviously with 5 threes already. Just 10 minutes into this game, as Parker's second free throw is good. He splits the pair. It's now 22-17 here in favor of the Raiders. They've outscored Stevens 22-7 ever since trailing 10-0 early on in this one. As now DiPietrantonio will hand that one off to LaCourte. LaCourte fires up the 3. That one's good. Makes it 22-20 in favor of the Raiders.
Yeah, beautiful screen right there from DiPietrantonio, which just gave enough room for Matt LaCourte to take that 3-pointer and put it in for the Stevens Ducks.
Parker gives it up to Newsom, who gives it up to Hill, who fires cross-court over to Painter, who shoots the 3. That's no good. Strong rebound, though, by Christian Parker. His putback's good. It's 24-20 Mount Union.
Yeah, good for Christian Parker right there, being able to get the rebound off the Chris Painter Jr. miss and put it off the glass and in for the Purple Raiders.
Connor Coffey now takes a screen from DiPietrantonio. He looks to drive, has it stripped away, though, by Scariotis. Chris Painter now with it for the Raiders. Takes it across that half-court timeline. Takes a screen from Logan Hill, now drives, goes up for the layup. It's good. The Raiders now on top, 26-20. Ducks have seen enough. They're calling a timeout. The Mount Union faithful on their feet here as the Raiders have their largest lead of the night.
Yeah, defense turns to offense as Scariotis does a great job of stripping that ball away, giving it to Chris Painter Jr., who found the lane wide open for himself to get that layup in for the Purple Raiders. And like you said, Jacob, the Purple Raiders have been able to make some good adjustments since coming out flat, starting at being down 10-0. But like you said, They are now up by 6 against the Stevens Ducks.
That's for sure, outscoring the Ducks right now, 26-10, ever since falling into that 10-0 hole. The Ducks trying to respond here. They got off to a fast start on offense ever since then, though. It's not been too good for the Ducks. They started out 4 for 6. They've shot 4 for their last 16 now in this one. As the Ducks shooting just 36%, the Raiders, though, only shooting 38% in their own rights as well. Darrell Newsom's going to take a seat here, so the 5 for Mount Union is now Andrew Keller, Christian Parker, Ethan Stanislavski, Logan Hill, and Chris Painter Jr. And then for the Ducks, it'll be number 25, Matt Crowley, number 11, McGuire Sweeney, number 2, Matt LaCourte, number 41, Alec Antonio, and lastly, Connor Coffey. Antonio has it at the other end now for the Ducks. He's looking to go to work on Logan Hill, goes up for the shot. That's no good, but Logan Hill fouled him in the process, so that's going to be Hill's first personal foul, 16th foul of the half, and it'll send Antonio to the free throw line.
Yeah, good work for Antonio to back his opponent, Logan Hill, in the post and get that shot up. Logan Hill, hands straight up, still called the foul. Might have leaned over a little bit as Antonio misses that first free throw for the Ducks.
First free throw is no good. Score will remain 26-20 here. Jack Spellman will return here for the Ducks. As Antonio tries to split the pair here. And his second free throw gets the friendly bounce off the rim. It's 26-21 Mount Union. Stanislavski now brings it up with some pressure applied by Matt LaCourte. As Stanislavski gives it up to Chris Painter. Painter takes a screen from Logan Hill, now trying to give it right back to Hill, but it's stolen away by Crowley. Crowley now gives it up to Spellman. Spellman over to Coffey. Coffey now puts it on the floor and will give it back to Crowley as they swing it back once more to Spellman. Spellman now right back to Crowley, sets a screen for him, as now Crowley, the extra pass over to Coffey in the corner. 12 seconds on the shot clock here as Coffey tries to get past Andrew Keller. Goes up for the shot and instead gives it up to Spellman. Over to LaCourte, fires up the three. That one's good. The three ball is good. He's got a chance for a 4-point play here as the foul's going to go on Christian Parker. His second personal foul, 17th foul of the half. Matt LaCourte with a chance for a 4-point play.
Yeah, and I'm going to be honest, Jacob, don't know if I agree with that call or not. Christian Parker, it looked like he didn't even touch LaCourte's hand, but nonetheless, like you said, LaCourte's going to be up for that and one opportunity, as there is a timeout here on the floor, which brings the score back 26-24 for the Purple Raiders.
Indeed, as the Raiders are on top right now, 26-24. Interestingly enough, too, Christian Parker gets called for his second personal foul, so we'll see how that affects the Raiders here, as he, of course, is the leading scorer for Mount Union this season. As the Raiders on top here by 2, taking a look at some score updates from around today's first round action. Trinity just defeated Whitworth by a score of 77-52 in that one. The other game going on in their region right now, St. John's currently losing to Calvin at the half. Actually, no, my apologies, they are tied at 28 at the half in that region. Of course, Pomona Pitzer won 67-66 in the top left region of the NCAA tournament bracket. And of course, Mount Union's in the top, and the bottom left, my apologies, of the men's basketball region here. The Bosch currently on top of Barry, 81-75, 2:15 left to go in that one. Wheaton on top of Hope with 3 minutes left to go in that one, 66-58. And then taking a look at some scores currently going on as well, Rochester ended up defeating Eastern 88-65. Rowan currently losing to Susquehanna 72-57. Stockton will be playing Johns Hopkins in the second round after an 87-52 thrashing of Wilson. And lastly, Nazareth currently on top of Westfield State 11-6 right now, and RPI on top of Nichols 41-33. As LaCourte can't get the 4-point play to go out of the timeout, as Darrell Newsom checks in for Christian Parker out of that timeout as well. Andrew Keller brings it up now for Mount Union as he picks up his dribble and gives it up to Stanislavski. Stanislavski now hands it off to Chris Painter. He gives it up to Newsom. Newsom puts it on the floor. Back out to Painter. Extra pass over to Keller, who fires up the open three. That's short. Rebound into the hands of Coffey. Coffey gives it up to Matt Crowley now as Crowley right back to Coffey. As Stevens looks to tie things up or take the lead once more. as that pass almost too wide for Spellman. Spellman now gives it up to LaCourt. LaCourt with a great catch, fires up another three. That's no good. Ball tipped off the head of Logan Hill into the hands of Crowley, who fires up a three and airballs it. DiPetro Antonio keeps the possession alive, but into the hands of Andrew Keller. Keller now gives it up to Newsom, who gives it right back to Keller, over to Painter, and now Stanislavski with it. Stanislavski gives it up to Painter, who drives, goes up for the layup, and it's good. Raiders on top, 28-24.
Yeah, beautiful play right there from Chris Painter Jr. Just used his speed to blow by the defender and put that ball up and in with a nice layup for the Purple Raiders.
4-point lead now for Mount Union here on 91.1 WRMU. As Coffey now gives it up to LaCourt. LaCourt fires up a three once more. That one's good. So Matt LaCourt now, he's got 12 points, make it 28-27 Raiders.
Yeah, and the Stevens Ducks have been able to get some point production out of LaCourt because of that deep Petcher Antonio screen they've been using. So good on them for game planning on that.
And at the other end, the Raiders return the favor. Logan Hill sets a screen to free up Chris Painter Jr., who gets the three to go. It's now 31-27 Mount Union. It's on the drive. Spellman now fires up a three, trying to return the favor. It's raining threes now here in the MAC as Jack Spellman gets it to go, cuts the lead back down to one.
Yeah, both teams shooting at will beyond the arc. It's great to see.
Both teams now have hit 6 3-pointers in this contest as Andrew Keller now gives it up to Logan Hill in the high post. Hill looking where to go with it, will give it out to Painter. Painter now looks to drive, goes up for the shot on DiPetro Antonio. That one's no good. Rebound into the hands of Coffey. Coffey looking to give Stevens the lead here once more. Drives, kicks it back to Crowley. As Crowley now will take a screen from DiPetro Antonio. Feeds it down low inside. DiPetro Antonio wide open. Gives Stevens the lead once more, 32-31.
Yeah, as soon as they double-teamed Crowley, Crowley saw that DiPetro Antonio was wide open in the post, which led to the easy lay-in for the big man.
Chris Painter gives it up to Ethan Stanislavski, who hesitates, fires up the contested mid-range shot. Might have been partially blocked right there by LaCourt as the Ducks take it the other way now. Coffey looking to drive on Keller. He goes baseline, goes up for the layup. It's good. Stevens back on top here, 34-31.
Yeah, Coffey just taking himself, goes up against Andrew Keller and Logan Hill to put that layup in for the Ducks.
So Darrell Newsom swings it over to Chris Painter Jr. as Painter tried to give it to Logan Hill, but Hill was not ready for that pass. It's a turnover for the Raiders. Ball will go back to the Ducks. Some substitutions here for both teams. David Dixon will see his first action here tonight for the Ducks. And meanwhile, for the Raiders, Mike Scariotis returns. So it's Keller, Stanislavski, Darrell Newsom, Mike Scariotis, and Logan Hill out there for the Raiders. Coffey walks things up here for the Ducks. Holding on to a 3-point lead here on 91.1 WRMU. Is down low is Spellman. Spellman has it stripped away by Andrew Keller, but Keller had his foot out of bounds. Ball will remain with the Ducks.
Yeah, Spellman was definitely going to score on that play, but Andrew Keller coming out of nowhere, like you said, Jacob, just to strip the ball out of Spellman's hands as the Ducks are inbounding the ball on the baseline.
It all inbounds it to LaCourt, who has a nice fancy Euro step. Matt LaCourt now has 14 points. It's 36-31 Stevens. So they're on a 9-0 run here. Stanislavski hands it off to Darrell Newsom. Newsom looking to go to work on Spellman, goes up for the layup. That's no good. Into the hands though of Logan Hill. Hill keeps possession alive, gives it out to Scariotis. Scariotis hesitates, drives. Extra pass down low inside to Logan Hill. Great find right there by the freshman to find Logan Hill in stride. He's going to head to the free throw line for 2 free throws, but not before we get an officials timeout here as the Stevens Ducks on that 9-0 run have opened up a 36-31 lead here over the Mount Union Purple Raiders. So 3:48 left to go here in the first half. Davis, so far, Stevens, they of course had that 10-0 lead, then fell behind to Mount Union after a great run to give the Raiders their first leads of the game. But Stevens fighting back here, now back on top by 5. What have you liked from the Ducks on this past 9-0 run?
Yeah, they've been able to play the defense that they have and being able to disrupt a lot of Mount Union shots and not have them get some good looks, but at the same time, on the offensive side of the ball, they've been able to use screens very well in order to get their guys free, especially Matt LaCourt, like you said, Jacob. LaCourt, 14 points, which is second in the game behind Darrell Newsome, but LaCourt showing off for the Stevens Ducks so far, doing a great job putting the ball in the basket, and we'll see if he can keep continuing his keep putting up the points for the Ducks.
Yeah, it's really LaCourt and Newsome battling it out right now. LaCourt has 4 threes, Darrell Newsome has 5 threes. As both teams get out of the timeout here, Logan Hill will shoot 2 free throws out of this timeout. It's Mike Goodall, it's Matt LaCourt, it's also David Dixon, Jack Spellman, and lastly, re-entering the game here is McGuire Sweeney, as Hill's first free throw is no good. Score remains 36-31 is for the Raiders. It's Logan Hill, Darrell Newsome, Ethan Stanislawski, Mike Scarios, and Andrew Keller. Second free throw's up. That's also no good. Rebound into the hands of Spellman. So Mike Goodall walks things up here for the Stevens Ducks. He will take a screen now from Spellman, who gives it up to Dixon, and now over to Sweeney. McGuire Sweeney takes a screen from David Dixon, picks up his dribble, and swings it back over to Goodall. Goodall now drives, goes up for the shot. That's no good. Tipped ball into the hands of LaCourt. He gives over to Sweeney, whose 3 is way wide. That's an air ball into the hands of Logan Hill. Stanislawski walks things up now for Mount Union. 3:15 left to go here in the half. Raiders trailing by 5 on 91.1 WRMU as Scariotis now gives it up to Newsome. Newsome back over to Stanislawski. Stanislawski looks to drive, and he's going to draw the foul right there on Matt LaCourt. So for LaCourt, it's going to be his second personal foul, 17th foul of the half, and that will send Ethan Stanislawski to the free throw line here for a 1-and-1. And being wise with those 2 fouls, LaCourt's going to take a seat. Connor Coffey's going to re-enter the game now for the Ducks. Stanislawski's first free throw is up. That one's good. Stanislawski with his first point here tonight makes it 36-32 in favor of the Ducks. Stanislawski's second free throw is up now and good. It's now 36-33 in favor of Stevens. He's walking it up now is Mike Goodall. Goodall now will give it up to Connor Coffey. It's Coffey on the perimeter, gives it up to Dixon. Dixon right back to Coffey. As he looks to drive, goes up for the shot, gets it to go. Nice contest by Logan Hill, but just better offense there by Connor Coffey.
Yeah, Coffey getting the ball right there. Just drove all the way to the lane, all gas, no brakes. Put it up and in for the Stevens Ducks.
It's 38-33 now as Logan Hill picks up his dribble, gives it up to Scariotis. Scariotis now looking to put the moves on Coffey. He now gives it down low inside to Logan Hill. Hill goes up for the hook shot. That one's good. Logan Hill with his first 2 points tonight. It's 38-35.
Yeah, good defense right there from David Dixon, but just a little bit better of offense from Logan Hill as he did get the hook shot up and over Dixon.
Goodall looks to drive. He kicks it out to David Dixon, who fires up the 3. That one's too strong. Rebound into the hands of Andrew Keller. Keller now pushing the pace for the Raiders, looking to drive. He goes coast to coast. About to go up for the layup. He's going to be hard fouled. Or no, they're going to say there was a foul on the Raiders. And who are they going to get there with the foul? And they're going to say it's on Logan Hill. So a very interesting call right there. It looks as though Andrew Keller got wrapped up. But nonetheless, the foul's on Logan Hill. Ball will go back to the Ducks. Alec DiPietrantonio and Matt Crowley will return as Stevens brings it up now. So Goodall walks it up here for the Ducks. He will give that up to DiPietrantonio, who goes up for the shot. It's good. Stevens on top 40-35.
Yeah, just a classic pick and roll right there. DiPietrantonio able to slip the defense and get the easy layup for the Ducks.
Stanislawski now with it, takes a screen from Logan Hill. He fires up the open 3. That one's good. Ethan Stanislawski, his first 3 on the night, makes it 40-38 Ducks.
Yeah, definitely needed for Stanislawski, as that's the first made shot in the game for him tonight. Definitely needs to start warming up if the Raiders want to come and make this a game.
DiPietrantonio now looks to go to work in the post. Nice move right there by him, but he can't get the shot to go. Say that ball was last touched by number 32, Jack Spellman. So the ball will go back to the Raiders. Stanislawski's going to inbound it now for Mount Union. He gives it up to Darrell Newsome. As 1:10 left to go here in the first half of the NCAA tournament here in the first round. Raiders trailing by a score of 40-38 here on 91.1 WRMU. Stanislavski now looks to drive, kicks it out to Scarios, who fires up the three. That one's good. The Raiders regain the lead here as the freshman Mike Scarios gets his first 3 points of the night.
Yeah, big shot right there from the freshman. Was wide open in the corner and did a great job of pulling the trigger as soon as he got the ball.
Crowley gives it up to Coffey, who gives it right back to Crowley. Mount Union starting to get into this one as the crowd giving them that extra motivation. 35 seconds left to go, and right there the Raiders are going to force a turnover. So Mount Union gets the ball back here with 34 seconds left, on top by 1.
Yeah, Andrew Keller all open the grill with Mike Goodall as he was trying to find someone to pass the ball to, but was unable, which was the reason for the 5-second call.
So Purple Raiders will inbound it here as Scariotis will walk things up now for Mount Union. He gives it up to Ethan Stanislavski. Stanislavski now walks it up for the Raiders. 4-second difference between shot clock and game clock as he looks to put the moves here on Goodall. He fires up a contested three. That's no good. Tip, though, is no good by Keller. And the rebound to DiPetro Antonio. Connor Coffey now guarded closely here by Mike Scariotis as they're going to take the final shot here with 7 seconds left to go. Connor Coffey looks to go to work on Scariotis. Spins. Tried to go up for the shot. We'll see what the whistle is, and it's a travel violation. 2.8 seconds left to go. The Raiders will regain possession here.
Yeah, and it just looked like Coffey trying to make something out of that drive. Just kind of fell over while holding the ball there. So Purple Raiders trying to draw up something right here to get a last-second shot.
Keller inbounds it to Stanislavski. Stanislavski fires up the shot from half court. Actually hits the top of the ceiling. It's no good. That's how the first half will end. Mount Union Purple Raiders on top of the Stevens Ducks by a score of 41-40 at the end of this first half. Davis, what were your overall impressions of that first half?
Yeah, the defense for both teams have been outstanding. The Stevens Ducks being able to get up to an early 10-0 lead just because of the defense was very impressive, coming out with a press and using the zone and just kind of switching their defensive matchups and doing a great job of always pressuring the Purple Raiders on every shot they have. But the Purple Raiders being able to shoot from beyond the arc has been saving them so far from the game, as they're 8 of 16, and being able to shoot the ball decently and also play good enough defense has Mount Union back in the game up by 1. So Purple Raiders just need to keep putting the pressure on defense and make sure they're putting the ball into the basket.
Yeah, that's for sure. Like how you mentioned, Mount Union shot very well from the three-point line in that first half. 8 for 16, 50% overall. Stevens also very well, 6 for 12 overall, good for 50% as well. So we have a great game here so far in this first round matchup to conclude day 1 of the NCAA tournament here at Mount Union. As taking a look at the scoring leaders, Matt McCourt led the way for Stevens with 14 points, including 4 3-pointers. Jack Spellman had 9 points in that first half, while Darrell Newsom had 17 points, 5 for 5 from the three-point line, all 17 of his points coming in the first 10 minutes of that first half as well. Chris Painter Jr. has 7 points for the Raiders as we head to the halftime break. Mount Union on top here on 91.1 WRMU by a score of 41-40. We're going to take a short break here and be back for second half action of this NCAA first round matchup. Back here on the men's basketball live stream and 91.1 WRMU for tonight's first round matchup here in the NCAA tournament as the Mount Union Purple Raiders currently leading the Stevens Ducks by a score of 41-40. Jacob Attar alongside me with Davis Roby. And Davis, what are your overall thoughts on that first half for both teams?
Very competitive first half for both teams. Stevens Ducks definitely shows why they're a very good defensive team as they've limited Christian Parker, the leading scorer for the Purple Raiders, to 5 points. He averages about 19 a game throughout this season, and the Purple Raiders have been doing a good job on the turnover battle as well, as Stevens currently has 13 turnovers in this game, but average only about 14 a game, so doing a great job of putting a lot of pressure on the Ducks in order to try and put that ball in the basket for themselves.
That's for sure. Stevens came out, of course, with the early 10-0 lead in this one. Really shocked the Raiders, to say the least. Mount Union then, of course, outscored the Ducks the rest of the half, 41-30. It looked like Mount Union might have been starting to pull away just a little bit more in the majority of that middle of the second half. However, Stevens was able to make another run, take the lead, and then Mount Union, of course, took the lead before the end of the half as well, which gives them the 1-point halftime advantage. Now, taking a look at some other scores from around the NCAA tournament. First, in that bottom left quadrant of the men's basketball tournament here, where Bosch was able to pull away from Berry in the end with a 91-79 victory. They will await the winner of Emory and Averett, which is set for a 7-10 tip-off. And then, of course, Wheaton and Hope are the only other game going on in that bottom left quadrant of the NCAA tournament. And Wheaton's currently on top 66-58 with 3:05 left to go in that one. And right now, also some other score updates for you as well. WPI on top of Vassar, 23-18. Nichols on top of RPI on top of Nichols with 3:49 left to go in that one, 63-49. Westfield State currently trailing Nazareth by a score of 30-23 with 3:22 left to go in the first half in that one. Rowan is currently trailing Susquehanna with 28 seconds left to go in that one, 94-84. And then, of course, the other games, Case Western currently trailing Dubuque 49-38 at the half. Mary Hardin Baylor on top of Chapman 23-17, 10:27 left to go in the first half in that one. Calvin on top of St. John's 44-42 with 12:38 left to go in that game. And Elmhurst early on against Washington and Jefferson is on top 7-0. Both teams set to take the court here to start this second half. It'll be Darrell Newsom, Braden Poole, Ethan Stanislavski, Logan Hill, and Chris Painter for the Raiders. As for the Ducks, it'll be Matt LaCourte, Connor Coffey, Matt Crowley, Jack Spellman, and Alec D. Petrantonio. So Mount Union will get the ball to start this second half as Ethan Stanislavski looks to drive, goes up for the shot, and that one's going to be blocked by Spellman. And the Ducks will take it the other way now. Yeah, great defense right there from Spellman. Just saw Stanislavski driving through the lane, went straight up in the air and blocked the ball. Coffey looks to drive, goes up for the shot. That's short. Rebound to Ethan Stanislavski. Stanislavski now kicks it over in the corner to Chris Painter. Painter now back out to Ethan Stanislavski, who gives it right back to Painter once more. A down low inside goes to Braden Poole. Poole fires up the shot. That's no good. Rebound to Crowley. Matt Crowley brings it up now. He gives it up to D. Petrantonio, and D. Petrantonio on the fast break gets the layup to go. The Ducks regain the lead here. Yeah, great pass right there from Matt Crowley. Was able to get it over Logan Hill's head and to D. Petrantonio for the easy layup. It's now 42-41 as Ethan Stanislavski looks to drive, kicks it out to Chris Painter. Painter now down low inside to Logan Hill. Hill fires up the shot. That one's good. Raiders regain the lead, 43-42. Yeah, great bucket right there from Hill. Got it in the post underneath. Went to the other side of the basket in order to get the shot off and put it in for the Raiders. It's Connor Coffey now looks to drive. Has it stripped away momentarily by Braden Poole. Chris Painter gets on top of it. It's going to be a jump ball. The possession arrow, though, in favor of the Ducks. Yeah, great awareness right there from Braden Poole to poke the ball loose, and a better job for Chris Painter Jr. to jump on it as well to force the jump ball. So it'll be Matt Crowley inbounding it from underneath the basket for Stevens. And he will inbound it now. Near 5-second call here. He's got to be careful. And he's very close to that 5-second call. He gives it up to LaCourte. LaCourte now back to Crowley, as Crowley will give that up to Spellman. Crowley now with 6 on the shot clock. Needs to get something going. It's stolen away by Braden Poole, though. Poole now gives it up to Newsom. Newsom at the other end goes up for a layup. That one's good. Newsom has 19 points. It's 45-42 Mount Union. At the other end now, Crowley pushes the pace, gives it up to LaCourte. LaCourte returns the favor with the three-pointer, ties things back up at 45.
Yeah, great transition through right there for LaCourte. Found himself wide open on the wing for the three and put it in for the Stevens Ducks.
Ducks come back out in this 2-3 zone as Newsom now gives up to Stanislavski, trying to get it back to Braden Poole, but it's stolen away. Crowley now ahead of the pack, goes up for the layup. Too strong, no good. Connor Coffey's there for the putback, though. 47-45 Stevens. Ducks bench is starting to get into it as they continue in their zone pressure here. Chris Painter now has it for the Raiders. He will kick it over to Newsom. So Newsom tries to direct the offense here. Picks up his dribble, goes up to Braden Poole. Poole now kicks it out to Painter. Painter thought about the three, instead drives right back to Braden Poole. Great two-man action. Ties things back up at 47.
Yeah, Chris Painter Jr. did a great job of faking the floater right there and dishing it to Braden Poole for the open post shot. So there was going to be a foul here on Chris Painter Jr.
And Chris Painter is going to be called for his second personal foul. First team foul of the half. And so that will mean that it's a ball still here with the Stevens Ducks. It's Christian Parker re-enters the game here. Logan Hill is going to take a seat, as it is going to be Matt Crowley once again inbounding it from underneath the basket. Crowley inbounds it here to D. Petrantonio. He goes up for the shot, and that one was blocked by Parker. And now he came down with the ball. Thought there was going to be a traveling violation. Christian Parker, though, since he had his hand on the ball, forces the jump ball. The ball will go back to Mount Union.
Yeah, I don't know about the jump ball right there. Probably should have been a travel after D. Petrantonio didn't put up the ball after he went up for the shot. But nonetheless, Raiders would get possession of the ball.
Stanislavski walks things up for Mount Union, with the score still tied at 47 as he gives that up to Newsom. Newsom now over to Poole. Poole now to Chris Painter, who gives it right back to Darrell Newsom. Now Painter looks to drive baseline, and he will kick that back to Newsom. Newsom now with 8 on the shot clock gives it up to Painter, who gives it to Christian Parker. Parker's going to draw the foul here on Alec D. Petrantonio. And so the ball will remain here with the Raiders with a new 20 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, D. Petrantonio trying to poke the ball away from Christian Parker. Got his arm and settled the ball, which was the cause for the reach-in foul, as Ethan Stanislavski looks to inbound the ball for the Purple Raiders.
Stanislavski inbounds it, cross-court over to Painter, fires up the three. That's no good. Offensive rebound to Braden Poole. His putback's no good. But he's going to head to the free throw line here, as that foul was on Jack Spellman. And Braden Poole has 2 free throws upcoming for Mount Union.
Yeah, and good awareness right there from Braden Poole, not only to get the rebound, but also to put the shot up as immediately as he got it, and is up at the line for 2 for the Raiders.
Poole tries to break this tie. His first free throw is no good. Score will remain tied at 47 here. Raiders struggling from the free throw line here today. Just 3 for 7 in this one. Second free throw's up. That one's good. Raiders regain the lead here on top, 48-47. Here on 91.1 WRMU. As Crowley brings it up now, he will take a screen from D. Petrantonio. Picks up his dribble now, kicks out to Spellman, who fires up a well-contested three. It's no good. Rebound, they're going to say it was last tipped out by D. Petrantonio. The ball will go back to Mount Union. So Newsom will inbound it here to Chris Painter. Painter will walk things up now for the Raiders. And he gives it right back to Darrell Newsom. Newsom now takes a screen from Christian Parker and gives it right back to Chris Painter now. Painter now picks up his dribble, gives it up to Stanislavski. Stanislavski looking for the opening, gives it up to Chris Painter. Painter fires at the mid-range shot. That's good. Chris Painter Jr. now has 9 points. It's 50-47 Mount Union.
Yeah, good screen right there from Christian Parker to free up Chris Painter Jr. for the jump shot.
As at the other end, Matt Crowley returns the favor with a mid-range shot of his own, makes it 50-49 Raiders.
Yeah, Crowley, nice little dribble move against Chris Painter Jr. to open himself for the elbow jumper.
Painter now putting the moves on, kicks it out to Newsom, who swings it over to Parker. Parker fires up an open three. That one's good. Christian Parker now, 8 points off the Raider bench. It's 53-49.
Yeah, Parker wide open at the three-point line, decided to take it and put it in for the Purple Raiders.
Crowley now puts it on the floor, kicks out to LaCourte. LaCourte, the nice catch, has it stripped away by Parker, out of bounds. Ball remain with the Ducks. We're going to have a stoppage in play here for an official's timeout as Mount Union finds themselves on top in this one, 53-49. And Davis, the Raiders have started to build a little bit more of a lead here. What have you liked so far from the Raiders in the second half?
Yeah, they've been able to not give up on plays and been able to get into the post and free themselves up for some good shots, as Chris Painter Jr. in particular doing some great fancy footwork and great ball movement in order to get some guys free and score himself. But also, Braden Poole doing a great job on the defensive side of the ball and obviously cleaned up on that last offensive possession to get the Raiders put up for a free throw. But nonetheless, still lots of work to do. Only a 4-point lead against the Stevens Ducks, as the Ducks can come back in this game anytime they want. Been doing a great job of scoring it runs, and we could see one possibly come out of this timeout for the Ducks.
Yeah, that's for sure. As heck of a game here in March, as always tends to be those great college basketball games throughout the NCAA tournament, and this one's not failing to impress whatsoever. Here's the Ducks really hanging tough in this one, just trailing by 4 points, as both teams getting set to take the floor here once more. It's Chris Painter Jr., Darrell Newsome, Christian Parker, Ethan Stanislavski, and Braden Poole out there for the Raiders. And for the Ducks, it's Connor Coffey. It is also Matt Crowley, Alec DiPietrantonio, Matt LaCourte, and lastly Jack Spellman. Here on 91.1 WRMU, the Raiders with 15 and a half minutes left to go in this one, on top by 4. DiPietrantonio receives the inbound, hands it back to Crowley. Crowley now puts it back on the floor. Might have gotten away with a double dribble. He gives it up to LaCourte now. LaCourte over to Spellman. Spellman now gives it up to Coffey. 3 on the shot clock. Coffey needing to get a shot up, instead he has it stripped away. Darrell Newsome now brings it up for the Raiders. He gives it up to Stanislavski, who fires with the transition 3. No good. Fight for the rebound though. And they're going to get Christian Parker here with the loose ball foul. So that's a critical foul right there. 3rd foul on Christian Parker. And the ball will go back to Stevens.
Yeah, definitely don't want to see that if you are the Purple Raiders. Christian Parker getting his 3rd personal foul. Only needs 2 more to foul out of the game, as Parker's led the Raiders in scoring this season. Just 19.4 points for the Raiders. Only has 8 points tonight for them though.
As Parker's going to take a seat here with those 3 fouls, Logan Hill re-enters the game for Mount Union. As Crowley hands that off to Coffey. Coffey now over to Spellman. Spellman now down low inside to DiPietrantonio. DiPietrantonio looking to go to work. Puts up the baby hook. That's no good, but he draws the foul there on Logan Hill, and that's going to be Logan Hill's 3rd personal foul now too. 3rd team foul at half as Alec DiPietrantonio heads to the free throw line.
Yeah, Logan Hill trying to go straight up right there against DiPietrantonio, but just a little too aggressive right there as DiPietrantonio is up at the line for 2.
So DiPietrantonio, the leading scorer this season for Stevens Ducks, misses the 1st free throw. He's got 11 points here tonight. The score will remain 53-49 as Mike Scariotis re-enters the game for the Raiders, and Chris Painter Jr. will take a seat. As DiPietrantonio tries to split the pair here, make this a 3-point game. 2nd free throw's up. That time it's good. 1 possession game now here at the MAC. It's 53-50. 14:41 left to go in this one. Scariotis now cross court over to Stanislavski, right back to the freshman. And now trying to get it back to Stanislavski, almost stripped away right there. Nice heads up play by Connor Coffey, but the ball will remain with Mount Union. 14 seconds on the shot clock here for the Raiders. As Darrell Newsome is going to inbound it here to Stanislavski. Stanislavski now hands it off to Scariotis, gives it up to Braden Poole, back over to Newsome. Newsome now takes a screen from Logan Hill, gives it up to Poole, who swings it over to Stanislavski for the corner 3. No good. Nice athletic rebound right there by Newsome, but his putback is blocked. The rebound goes to the Ducks. Ducks pushing the pace here as Connor Coffey looks to drive baseline. Nice pump fake, gives it up to Spellman, who just lost possession of the ball, but into the hands of Connor Coffey. Coffey now trying to get something set here for the Ducks. There's 14 on the shot clock. As Spellman now drives, has it stripped from behind by Braden Poole into the hands of Stanislavski.
Yeah, Poole looking to steal the ball. all sorts on that possession right there. Finally gets a little pocket poke right there.
Down low inside, Stanislavski with a nice pick and roll action. Gives it up to Logan Hill. Hill's going to draw the foul here. We'll see if they get a shooting foul as well. Foul's going to be on Matt LaCourte. LaCourte's going to pick up his third personnel now, and the third team foul of the half, as Logan Hill will indeed head to the free throw line here for 2. Hill's first free throw is short. Raiders continue to struggle at the free throw line now. 4 for 10 in this one. Score remains at 53-50 as Hill puts up that second free throw. That one's good. Raiders re-extend their lead to 4. It's now 54-50 here on 91.1 WRMU as Crowley walks it up now. My apologies, Connor Coffey. Connor Coffey got it close to here by Newsom. Tried to get it over to Crowley, but that was off Spellman's foot and into the hands of Braden Poole. Stanislavski now pushes the pace, gives it up to Logan Hill, and Hill on the fast break gets the layup to go. Raiders on top by 6.
Yeah, DePetro Antonio just didn't get back there fast enough for the Ducks, as there's going to be a foul right here on Michael Scariotis. But what I was saying was Logan Hill found himself wide open in the post as DePetro Antonio just didn't get back fast enough, which resulted in the easy lay-in for the senior.
Crowley inbounds it to Connor Coffey. Coffey now takes a screen from DePetro Antonio, tried to feed it down low inside to him. They're going to say that was last off Braden Poole, though. Poole having a nice defensive second half here. It's going to remain Ducks basketball. So 14 seconds for the Ducks to work with here on the shot clock as Crowley's going to inbound it here. And he will inbound that to DePetro Antonio. DePetro Antonio now hands it right back off to Crowley. As Crowley takes a screen now from Spellman. He looks to drive on Scariotis. Pump fakes. Goes up for the floater. That's no good. Rebound with Scariotis. Freshman brings it up now for Mount Union as they try to take their largest lead of the night here. Nice behind the back move. He kicks it out to Stanislavski. Stanislavski now back over to Scariotis. Feeds Logan Hill down low inside. Goes up for the layup. Logan Hill now has 9 points. It's 58-50 Mount Union.
Yeah, he's been feasting down there on the post in this second half, doing a great job of getting in a position for him to get an easy bucket for the Raiders.
Raider faithful back on their feet here as their team has an 8-point lead. And a foul away from the hoop here on Braden Poole. Now, it's not like that call. Third personal foul on Braden Poole now. A lot of Raiders getting in some foul trouble here. Mike Goodall is going to check in for the Ducks. Chris Painter is going to check back in for Mount Union as the boos continue to echo here at the MAC.
Yeah, and the Raiders had a similar problem like they did with the foul trouble in the OAC championship game, with Logan Hill actually fouling out of the OAC championship game. So Raiders need to do a better job of not fouling here in the second half, or they'll see some of their players not be able to come back in.
It's Goodall will kick that one out to Crowley. Crowley now looks to drive on Scariotis. Pump fakes. Fires up the well-contested shot. That's no good. Fight for the rebound. Stanislavski comes up with it. Stanislavski gives it up to Chris Painter Jr. Pushes the pace now for the Raiders. Takes a screen from Logan Hill. Now feeds Hill in the post. Hill looking to go to work, and Logan Hill's going to get called for that 4th personal foul as David Dixon, who just checked back in for the Ducks, draws the offensive foul. Hill's going to get called for that 4th personal foul. Ball will go back to the Ducks.
And I didn't think Dixon had his feet set right there in the post, but Logan Hill, I guess, was good enough to lower his shoulder right there as Dixon fell to the ground, which was a result of that charge call.
So the handoff here to LaCourte. LaCourte will give that up to Goodall. Goodall back to LaCourte now. So LaCourte looks to drive, goes up for the layup. That one's good. Matt LaCourte makes it 58-52 in favor of the Raiders.
Yeah, LaCourte did a great job of using his body right there against Ethan Stanislavski to not allow him to contest his layup, as he puts it nice and easy in for the Ducks.
Scariotis gives it to Darrell Newsom. Newsom looks to drive. Tried to feed Logan Hill down low inside, but it's stolen away there by the Ducks. So Goodall now brings it up for Stevens. He looks to drive coast to coast, picks up his dribble, kicks it out to Crowley. Crowley now gets things set here for Stevens as Dixon sets the screen. Crowley, my apologies, looks to drive, and that's going to be the 5th foul on Logan Hill. And Logan Hill is going to foul out of this game. We're going to have an officials timeout. Julian Berry is going to check in for Logan Hill as he is done here tonight. The Raiders on top here by 6 with 11:25 to go. That's also going to send Crowley to the free throw line with a 1-on-1 opportunity. So Mount Union in a little bit of foul trouble here as they hold on to this 6-point lead.
Yeah, and not something you want to see out of a starter right here. Logan Hill fouling out, of course. But it allows other people on the bench, and I believe Julian Berry is going to be coming into the game for him. So it allows people like Julian Berry to come into the game and try and make an impact for the Purple Raiders and see if he can be a force in the paint and keep up the defensive pressure that they've been putting on the Stevens Ducks. But the Ducks looking to capitalize after that foul out from Logan Hill, probably wanting to push the pace a little bit. But but Crowley will be up at the line, like Jacob said, for a 1-on-1 opportunity.
Yeah, and it's going to be crucial now as Julian Berry is going to see some action as all the Raiders' big men are in foul trouble. Of course, now Logan Hill fouled out in this one. Christian Parker and Braden Poole each have 3 fouls right now. So Julian Berry likely to get an extended run here as a senior from Girard looks to make his presence known here in March, as it's going to be Julian Berry, Ethan Stanislavski, Darrell Newsom, Mike Scariotis, Chris Painter Jr. for Mount Union. And for the Ducks, it is going to be Mike Goodall, David Dixon, Matt LaCourte, Matt Crowley, and Jack Spellman. So the 1-on-one's upcoming here for Matt Crowley. Crowley's the junior from Westfield, New Jersey. Fires up the front end of the 1-on-1, gets the friendly bounce off the rim, makes it 58-53 in favor of the Raiders. So Crowley now with his second free throw. The Ducks are going to be in the bonus for the final 11.5 minutes of this game as Crowley's free throw is good. It's 58-54 Raiders. Stanislavski will bring things up now for Mount Union as the Ducks come back in their 1-3-1 press. He's able to break it though as Stanislavski has it across that half-court timeline. Stanislavski now directing the offense. He kicks it over to Painter in the corner. Painter right back to Ethan, and right there Matt Crowley does not like the foul call, but he's going to get called for the body foul there, as that'll be Crowley's second personal foul, fourth team foul to half. Yeah,
Crowley definitely using his body right there. Too much against Ethan Stanislavski was up for the call.
Stanislavski gives it up to Painter. It's Painter now guarded closely here by Crowley. Gives it up to Scariotis. Scariotis now kicks it out to Stanislavski, who fires up the 3. That one's good. Ethan Stanislavski with 8 points. 61-54 Raiders.
Yeah, good penetration right there from the Raiders to get Scariotis the ball in the paint, as Scariotis walks the ball away from Matt Crowley trying to get a shot up for the Ducks, but Scariotis able to get the ball in the paint right in the middle and give it to Stanislavski wide open for the open 3.
Yeah, Scariotis with the nice play on offense and even better play on defense, forcing the block. But out of that inbounds, Matt LaCourte. He hits yet another 3 in this one. He's up to 22 points. That's a game high. Stevens trailing now 61-57. Stanislavski now crosses half court and pulls up for the uncontested mid-range shot. Ethan Stanislavski now 10 points in this one. Raiders on top by 6.
Yeah, breaking the press is very key for the Purple Raiders, as Stanislavski found himself open for a mid-range jumper and took it and put it in for the Raiders.
LaCourte will give that one over to Jack Spellman. Spellman's going to draw the foul here on Darrell Newsom. Newsom's going to get called for his second personal foul. 18th foul to half. It's going to send Jack Spellman to the line for a 1-on-1.
Yeah, and Darrell Newsom claiming his arm got hooked, but nonetheless, Newsom getting called for the foul and putting Spellman up on the line for the 1-on-1.
Alec DiPetrantonio and Connor Coffey will return here for the Ducks, as the first free throw coming here for Spellman is good. He hits the front end of the 1-on-1. Be 63-58 Raiders here. 10-12 left to go in this one on 91.1 WRMU. As Spellman gets set here for his second free throw. And that free throw is good. So the freshman from Westfield, New Jersey makes it a 4-point game here as Scariotis brings it up for the Raiders. Scariotis now across that half-court timeline, looks to drive and kicks it out to Painter, but that one's stolen midair by Goodall.
Yeah, Goodall did a great job of reading the pass right there from Scariotis in order to intercept it.
Goodall now hands it off to LaCourte. LaCourte looks to drive, picks up his dribble, gives out to Spellman. Spellman now over to Goodall. Goodell now looking to go to work. Looks to drive on Painter. Gives up to D. Petrantonio. And D. Petrantonio gets the layup to go. Draws the foul on Julian Berry. And D. Petrantonio has a chance for a three-point play.
Yeah, beautiful dish right there to D. Petrantonio and Julian Berry. Didn't know where D. Petrantonio was. Just fouled him as D. Petrantonio put it in the basket for the Ducks. Up for the and one opportunity.
And so Julian Berry's going to take a seat now. Christian Parker's going to re-enter the game for the Raiders with those 3 fouls. So he has to be careful here. As D. Petrantonio puts up that free throw, completes the three-point play. It's 63-62 now, just a one-point game. As D. Petrantonio will take a seat. McGuire Sweeney re-enters the game for the Ducks. As Darrell Newsom will inbound it here. Newsom gives it up to Stanislavski. And Stanislavski now over to Newsom as they break the press. Newsom now over to Skariotis in the corner, who gives it back to Darrell. Newsom now over to Stanislavski, who gives it up to Painter. As Painter now kicks it inside to Parker, swings it right back out to Painter. Painter now goes up with the floater, that's no good. Rebound into the hands of Spellman. So the Ducks look to regain the lead here as McGuire Sweeney brings it up, and he will swing that over cross court to Connor Coffey. Coffey now gives that back up to Sweeney. Sweeney now over to LaCourte. As LaCourte puts it on the floor, looks to drive, goes up for the shot, but it's stripped away by Stanislavski. Stanislavski's going to bring it up now for the Raiders. 8:50 left to go in this one. Mount Union holding on to a 1-point lead here. As Christian Parker sets a screen for Stanislavski, who gives it right up to Christian Parker in the post. Parker now is met by a triple team, swings it out to Painter, who fires up the three, no good. Rebound though to Newsom. Newsom now over to Painter, kicks it over to Stanislavski, swings it over, extra pass to Skariotis for three, no good. Rebound to Spellman.
Yeah, and Raiders getting all sorts of chances right there to score, just couldn't put the ball in the basket, unfortunately.
Goodall swings it out to Spellman now, kicks it over to LaCourte. LaCourte now will give that one on up to Coffey. As Coffey now down low to Spellman. Spellman extra pass to Sweeney. Sweeney looks to drive on Skariotis, goes up for the shot. Skariotis once more with the block, and the ball will remain here with the Ducks as Braden Poole re-enters the game with his 3 fouls. Skariotis takes a seat.
Yeah, good defense right there from Skariotis going up against McGuire Sweeney, the bigger defender, or the bigger man in that situation, but stayed in between McGuire and the basket in order to block that shot.
Alec D. Petrantonio will re-enter the game here as well for the Ducks. As inbounding it here is Goodall. Goodall needs to get it inbounded. Don't know how he got away with that one. That certainly looked like a 5-second call as LaCourte fires up a three off the inbound. It's good. Matt LaCourte high steps his way down the court. He's got 25 points. 65-63 Stevens.
Yeah, and I think Stevens did get away with a 5-second call right there, but LaCourte making it count with a nice deep three-pointer.
Christian Parker draws the double team at the other end, and he draws the foul on Mike Goodall, gives him a stare down afterwards. He's going to head to the free throw line out of this official's timeout as there's 7:44 left to go in this one. Raiders currently trailing to the Stevens Ducks here by score 65-63. And so Davis, once more, the Raiders looked like they could have potentially been gaining separation, but Stevens, as they have all game long, is not giving in whatsoever and has regained a 2-point lead here. What have you seen from the Ducks that's allowed them to retake the lead in this one?
Yeah, I think the offensive execution's been a lot better for the Ducks so far on the comeback run they've had as they lead by 2 against the Raiders. And they've been able to get enough separation to get shots off and just make them. They've been just doing a great job on the offensive end of just executing what they needed to do in order to take this lead against the Raiders.
Yeah, that's for sure. So far in this one, it's just been a back-and-forth outing all throughout the game as the Raiders currently right now surrendering an 8-0 run. Mount Union has not scored since the 10:27 mark, so it's been roughly around 3 minutes. And in that 3 minutes, Stevens' defense has once again proven to be the difference as they have regained a 2-point lead here. Christian Parker is going to head to the free throw line for 2 free throws. He's joined by Braden Poole, Darrell Newsom, Ethan Stanislavski, and Chris Painter Jr. out of the timeout for Mount Union. And for the Stevens Ducks, it's Alec DiPietrantonio. It's also Connor Coffey, Mike Goodall, Jack Spellman, and lastly, Matt LaCourte. First free throw for Parker is up and in. And so Christian Parker now with 9 points, makes it 65-64 in favor of the Ducks. Looking to tie things up now at the line. And that free throw is no good, so the Ducks holding on here to that 1-point advantage. Goodall brings it up now for Stevens as he looks to drive. Picks up his dribble now, and he will give that up to Connor Coffey. Connor Coffey now guarded closely by Stanislawski. Looks to drive on Ethan. Swings it over in the corner to Goodall, who pump fakes. Drives now. Extra pass to DiPietrantonio, who goes up for the layups. Too strong. Rebound to Braden Poole. Poole's going to draw the foul as well. It's going to be the 16th foul of the half, and I believe that they're going to give DiPietrantonio for a second personal foul as well. So the Raiders 1 foul away from the bonus.
Yeah, and Braden Poole definitely being held on that play right there, trying to grab the rebound for the Purple Raiders.
As Stevens comes out once more in a press here, as it looks like a man-to-man press this time as LaCourte will apply pressure to Stanislawski as he brings the ball up the court. Stanislawski now picks up his dribble, gives it up to Braden Poole in the high post. Poole out to Parker, who fires up a three. That's too strong, no good. Rebound into the hands of Spellman. So Goodall brings it up now for the Ducks. He gives it up to Spellman, right back to Goodall. As Goodall now picks up the dribble once more, gives it up to Connor Coffey. Connor Coffey looking to go to work on Chris Painter Jr., and he's going to draw the foul on Chris Painter Jr. A reach-in foul here. It's a double bonus now for the Ducks, and that will send Connor Coffey to the free throw line for 2.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that. Didn't look like Chris Painter Jr. did too much right there to interfere with Coffey, but nonetheless, Coffey up at the line for 2 as the Raiders, like you said, Jacob, are now in the double bonus.
Coffey's first free throw is up and good. He's got 7 points now here tonight. And so the junior from Monroe, New York, tries to extend that lead out to 3. He's able to do so. The Ducks now on top in this one, 67-64, just 6:44 left to go here on 91.1 WRMU. It's Painter now brings it up for the Raiders. And he will give that up to Braden Poole. Poole now looks to drive, goes up for the shot. That's no good. Rebound to DiPietrantonio. Connor Coffey now looking to slow things down here for the Ducks. He's going to take a screen from DiPietrantonio. Fires up the contested mid-range shot. That's good. Connor Coffey gives the Ducks a 5-point lead. Mike Fuline's seen enough for the Raiders. He calls a timeout with his team trailing now 69-64 in this one. Connor Coffey now scored the last 3 points here for the Ducks. He's at 10 points tonight. He's one of 3 Ducks in double figures. Alec DiPietrantonio has 15 points. And, of course, Matt LaCourte so far in this one with 25 points to lead all scorers for Stevens and Mount Union.
Yeah, and if Mount Union wants to come back in this game, they're definitely going to need a lot of help from Braden Poole and Christian Parker, as both are combined for a total of 14 points in the game for the Purple Raiders. Both have been key contributors to the Purple Raiders throughout this whole season, and Christian Parker just not having the usual day he does. But if the Raiders do want to get back and try and tie this game so far, Christian Parker is definitely a point of emphasis that Fuline's got to be talking about.
Yeah, we'll see what the Raiders get out of this timeout. We're running out of time here, though. 6:19 left to go, trailing by 5 in this one, with Stevens having all the momentum as well. Currently on a 12-1 run to regain a 5-point advantage here. As it'll be Matt LaCourte out there for the Ducks, as is Jack Spellman, Mike Goodall, and also for them is Alec DiPietrantonio and, of course, Connor Coffey. For the Raiders, it's Stanislawski, Christian Parker, Braden Poole, Darrell Newsom, and Chris Painter Jr. Painter now has it, and he gives that up to Stanislawski on the perimeter. Stanislawski now feeds it down low inside to Parker. Parker goes up for the hook shot. That's good. 69-66 Ducks.
Yeah, and Parker knew he was going to get double teamed as soon as he got the ball in the post, and just went up straight against DiPietrantonio, took the shot and put it in for the Raiders.
Spellman gives that up to LaCourte. LaCourte now will give that up to Connor Coffey. Coffey now gives it up to Spellman. Spellman looking to go to work on Braden Poole. Spellman now trying to get around the senior. Fires up the shot. It's blocked by Poole. Poole comes up with the rebound, gives it to Stanislavski. Stanislavski brings it up now for Mount Union. He will give it up to Braden Poole. Poole now over to Newsom, who feeds Christian Parker. Parker draws the double team. Extra pass around the perimeter to Stanislavski. Back over to Chris Painter now. Gives it right back to Stanislavski once more. Newsom now has it with 9 on the shot clock. Swings it in the corner to Painter for 3. It's well short and into the hands of Connor Coffey. Coffey walks things up for the Ducks. As he looks to go to work. He drives now. Hesitates. Goes up for the layup. No good. Grounds his own miss. Goes down to the ground on his back. And they're going to say it's a traveling violation here on Connor Coffey. So the ball will go back to the Raiders.
Yeah, could have argued there might have been a foul right there, but it did look like Coffey just lost his balance going up for the rebound, which was the result of the travel.
Matt Crowley re-enters the game now for the Ducks. 4:56 now left to go in this one. The Raiders trailing by 3 as the Ducks now applying that pressure. Braden Poole is going to bring it up now for the Raiders. Poole goes coast to coast up for the layup. It's no good. Rebound into the hands of the Ducks. Connor Coffey looks to drive coast to coast now himself. Picks up his dribble, kicks it back out to LaCourte. LaCourte fires up a corner 3. That's good. And Matt LaCourte has 28 points. The Ducks now on top 72-66.
Yeah, LaCourte just finding himself open on the three-point wing and did a great job of knocking it down for the Ducks.
Raiders in trouble here now. 4:22 left to go, trailing by 6. Newsom, cross court, over to Painter, who fires up the 3. In and out, no good. Rebound to Spellman. So Stevens has gotten hot at the right time. The Raiders have gone ice cold at the wrong time. 15-3 run has allowed the Ducks to open up a 6-point lead here. As it's now Crowley looking to drive on Stanislavski. Gets into the center of the lane, but stolen away by Ethan. As Stanislavski now gives it up to Painter. And Painter picks up his dribble and gives it right back to Stanislavski. Stanislavski now looking to put the moves on Crowley. Feeds Christian Parker down low inside. Parker's going to draw the foul on the entry pass. It's going to be the 17th foul as well, so Parker's going to head to the line for the 1-and-1, but not until after this official's timeout on the floor. Raiders currently trailing in this one by a score, 72-66. So Dave, it's just 3:46 left to go in this one. What's it going to take for the Raiders to make a comeback in this one and avoid a first-round upset?
Yeah, definitely need to get Christian Parker, Braden Poole going, but at the same time, they need to always convert their chances. I mean, being down by 6 against a great defensive team like the Stevens Ducks, you need to always convert on the offensive side of the ball. But they've been doing a great job of also creating turnovers, but been a little bit late on their defensive rotations as well, as it's end up letting LaCourte have an open 3, and he's just been balling out for the Ducks in this game with a game-high 28 points. Definitely need to stop him as a point of emphasis.
Not to mention, too, LaCourte has hit 8 3-pointers in this game. He's 8 for 10 from the 3-point line, 9 for 13 overall. If Stevens is able to hold on and pull off this upset, it was almost certainly going to be mainly because of Matt LaCourte and his incredible play here tonight at the MAC. As while we have a moment, we'll take a look at some other scores from around the NCAA tournament. Emory is currently on top of Averett, 13-10 early on in that game. As Washington U is currently on top of Cornell College as well, 19-13, as Wheaton appears to have pulled away with a final score victory in that one as well. We actually don't have a score update, unfortunately, but our last score update was 66-58 Wheaton, so it looks as though Wheaton pulled away in the bottom left quadrant of this NCAA tournament bracket. So out of the timeout now, Christian Parker is going to have a 1-and-1 opportunity here for the Raiders. Parker's first free throw's up, gets the friendly bounce off the rim. It's 72-67. As for the Raiders, it's Parker, Darrell Newsom, Chris Painter Jr., Ethan Stanislavski, and Braden Poole. Second free throw's up. That's no good. Rebound into the hands of Connor Coffey. So it's Connor Coffey, McGuire Sweeney, Jack Spellman, Matt LaCourte, and lastly Matt Crowley. Raiders are coming out with some pressure on their own now, as Sweeney now has it on the perimeter for the Ducks. He drives into the middle of the lane, gives it up to Crowley. Crowley out to LaCourte, fires up a three. He's got his 9th three-pointer of the night. He's up to 31 points. Matt LaCourte makes it 75-67.
Yeah, just an astounding outing for LaCourte, being able to hit 9 3-pointers as Ethan Stanislawski's going to get called for a charge right here. Trying to dribble up the court, but Matt Crowley did a great job of setting his feet and Ethan pushing off of him.
And the Raiders almost certainly in trouble now as Stanislawski gets called there. He just simply ran over Matt Crowley. That's a textbook foul right there. Ball will go right back to the Ducks. All the momentum in favor of Stevens right now. Is currently on that 18-4 run to open up this 8-point lead. Matt Crowley will inbound it now for Stevens. It's just 3:17 left to go in this one here on 91.1 WRMU. Raiders trailing 75-67. Crowley will inbound it. He gives it up to LaCourte. LaCourte now, cross court over to Connor Coffey. It's Coffey. Takes a screen from DiPetrantonio. As DiPetrantonio swings that one over to Crowley. Crowley now tried to get it back to Coffey. It's stolen away by Parker. Parker up ahead to Chris Painter. Painter's layup is good. Raiders trailing now by 6.
Yeah, and good defense right there from the Purple Raiders to get the steal as the Mount Union bench just arguing right there, trying to make sure that they have enough time to get back in this game.
And rightfully so. That should have been a delay of game violation for sure almost on Stevens, as they wasted about 10 seconds off the game clock just not walking up to the ball. So interesting move right there by Stevens as Connor Coffey now swings it over to Spellman. Spellman puts it on the floor. Tries to go up for the shot, but he lost possession of the ball. Gets it right back, though, and tries to get it over to LaCourte. He's able to do so. LaCourte drives, goes up for the shot. Blocked by Newsom, but they're going to call Durrell with the foul. So Newsom's going to get called for his 3rd personal foul. Matt LaCourte heads to the free throw line here for 2.
Yeah, I thought Durrell Newsom went behind LaCourte to block that ball, but they're saying he got the hand, and LaCourte's going to be up at the line for 2.
And so LaCourte trying to get points number 32 and 33 here tonight. Gets the first to go, 76-69. Easily a career high now for Matt LaCourte. As checking into this game is once more Mike Goodall. As we'll see if LaCourte can hit that 2nd free throw as well now. And he's able to do so. Stevens on top here, 77-69. As Chris Painter now drives, swings it out to Durrell Newsom. Newsom now over to Stanislawski. Stanislawski gives it up inside to Parker. Parker fakes the pass, goes up for the hook shot. It's good. Raiders trailing by 6 now with 2 minutes left to go in this one.
Yeah, big bucket right there for Christian Parker. Able to get it up and over DiPetrantonio and put it in the basket for the Raiders. As there's a scramble for the ball, and Ethan Stanislawski gets it, and there's going to be a jump ball as it's going to be the Stevens Ducks ball after that big scrum right there at the middle of the court.
The Raiders are not giving in here whatsoever. Painter almost comes away with the steal, and like how Davis mentioned, Stanislawski on the floor there, forces the jump ball. Possession arrow in favor of the Ducks. And wow, they're going to give Mike Fuline a sideline warning here. Interesting call right there. Fuline didn't look like he was past that coach's box, to me at least. And nonetheless, it's going to be an inbound here for Matt Crowley, who re-enters the game for the Ducks. Minute 49 left to go in this one. Ducks trying to pull off the upset over the host Mount Union Purple Raiders, as LaCourte has it now off the inbound, as he will give that up to Coffey. Coffey now gives it up to Spellman, hands it right back off to Coffey. Coffey now takes that screen and will give it back to Spellman. Spellman now loses possession of the ball. Stanislawski momentarily comes up with it, still a scruffle for the ball, and the Ducks aren't able to keep it. And they're going to say it's a shot clock violation. Raiders were up ahead on the fast break. This Mount Union crowd very upset, but I have to say that's probably the right call in that situation. The shot clock did go off, and so the Raiders are prevented from a fast break. They will instead get it side out of bounds.
Yeah, and that's crucial for the Purple Raiders, trying to get a quick bucket, trying to play as much aggressive defense as possible. And Durrell Newsom walking over to inbound the ball. Not very happy with the call either, but nonetheless, Raiders need to get on their horses if they want to get back and tie this game.
Minute 20 left to go here. Raiders trying to avoid the upset as Stanislavski pulls up for the three. That's no good. Fight for the rebound. Painter gets dragged to the ground, but there's no foul called. Unbelievable right there as the Ducks are going to have it. They're going to call a timeout. And very interesting, Chris Painter Jr., ladies and gentlemen, just got grabbed and thrown to the ground right in front of the referee. And there's no foul call. Coach Feline is talking about it right now. He's very upset. But Stevens takes a timeout. They're going to have it with a minute 8 left to go in this one, on top 77-61.
Yeah, the refereeing in this back half of this second half has not been good, as there definitely should have been a called foul right there, as LaCourte, like you said, Jacob, looked like he just took down Chris Painter Jr. trying to go up and get the rebound. Probably should have been LaCourte's 4th personal foul, but it's going to be Stevens Ducks basketball after the timeout called by Coffey.
Yeah, that's a potential game changer right there. 2 game changers, as you see. The shot clock violation obviously stopped the fast break for Mount Union, and then the Raiders almost certainly should have gotten a foul call right there. I cannot believe they didn't call a foul, as Chris Painter Jr. just got grabbed and thrown straight to the ground, and nothing is called. But nonetheless, the Raiders now trailing by 6 in this one. They're going to apply that full court pressure here, as the Ducks, once more, they're really getting away a little bit here as well, with some violations, potentially some delay of games, as they're just not going to inbound the ball here. So interesting calls down the stretch as Crowley inbounds it here to Connor Coffey. Coffey now looking to go to work, is trapped, gives it up to Spellman. Spellman now will give that up to Coffey, as now Raiders trying to foul, and they're not getting any intentional fouls called. Matt Crowley finally gets fouled. The Raiders are going to get called here. I believe it's going to be on Braden Poole, and Matt Crowley heads to the line here for 2 free throws. Poole now with 4 fouls in this one.
Yeah, and it's like the Purple Raiders, when they wanted the foul, weren't getting foul calls. Weird how that works.
Yeah, that's for sure. As 56 seconds left to go, Matt Crowley has 2 free throws here. Hits the first free throw. Stevens now on top by 7 here. And now, not entirely sure what the call is here. Scorer's table signaling the referee over.
No, they never assessed Braden Poole with his 4th personal foul.
Gotcha. And so Braden Poole now just 1 foul away from getting fouled out in this one. Second free throw's up. Crowley hits both of them. Stevens is on top by 8 here. Just 56 seconds left to go in this one, as Poole is going to inbound it here now. He gives it up to Stanislavski. Stanislavski now cross court over to Painter. Raiders need to get something going here in a hurry. Gives it up to Braden Poole down low inside. Raiders wasting some valuable seconds off the clock here as Newsom now fires up a 3. That one's baked in and good. Darrell Newsom has 6 3-pointers. Makes it 79-74. And a timeout, quick timeout by Mike Feline, as the Raiders trailing by 5 here. 44 seconds left to go in this one. The Raiders almost certainly have to foul here if they aren't able to come up with the steal, as Stevens has a 2-possession lead here as they try to pull off an incredible upset here over the hosts, the Mount Union Purple Raiders.
Yeah, the Purple Raiders not wanting to go out this early in the NCAA tournament, willing to do what it takes to tie this game or even win it. And they're hungry, want to keep going. So we'll see how this works out. Stevens Ducks have been doing a great job of breaking the press that the Purple Raiders have been putting on them since about the 3:30 mark of the second half.
Crowley's going to inbound here to LaCourte. You almost certainly don't want to foul LaCourte, as Crowley now gets past the Mountain Union players who are trying to foul. Braden Poole now is going to get called for the foul on Connor Coffey, and that's going to end Braden Poole's day. It's his 5th personal foul. Connor Coffey will head to the free throw line here, as the Raiders need to make a substitution. They're in no urgency to do so, it looks like, though. So Braden Poole's going to remain in the game for some reason with 5 fouls. As Coach Feline has to make a substitution here. And he will indeed, a very late substitution. Mike Scariotis is going to check in for Braden Poole for the final 38 seconds in this one.
As Braden Poole gets a nice ovation from the Mount Union home crowd.
Hopefully not the last time the Mount Union home crowd gets to see Braden Poole play this season, as Coffey's first free throw is up and in. It's 80-74 in favor of the Ducks. Raiders have 1 timeout to work with. The Ducks have 2 timeouts to work with. As Alec DiPietrantonio re-enters here as Matt Crowley takes a seat for the Ducks. As Connor Coffey tries to extend that lead back out to 7 here with 1 more free throw upcoming. That's good. It's 81-74. Fewline's going to elect not to take a timeout here for the Raiders. Scarios gives it up to Newsom. Newsom now over to Painter. Painter, extra pass over to Parker, who fires up the corner 3. That's no good. Fight for the rebound. Jack Spellman comes up with it. The Ducks inching closer and closer to this upset victory now as Jack Spellman gets fouled, heads to the free throw line here for 2.
Yeah, and the Purple Raiders not too happy after missing that last three-pointer, as they had to foul in order to preserve some game time in order for them to come back. But it looks like it might just be a little bit too late, as the Stevens Ducks put on a fantastic performance right here in order to try and advance to the second round.
The winner of this game will take on the Williams Eafs tomorrow, as that first free throw is no good right there from Spellman. Score will remain 81-74 here. Williams, of course, came away with the 95-57 victory in the earlier game of today's doubleheader. Spellman now. Second free throw is up and in. 82-74. Raiders trailing by 8 here. 28 seconds to go on 91.1 WRMU. Scarios fires up a deep 3. It's well short. LaCourte's going to come up with the rebound, runs into the scores table. Very dangerous play right there. And he actually turns the ball back over to the Raiders. There's 18 seconds left to go. I'm very surprised that LaCourte made that aggressive of a play. He could have really injured himself pretty badly there.
Yeah, at the same time, he probably doesn't just want the press for Mount Union to come up against them, but it was a good play.
Stanislawski fires it out to Painter, whose 3 is well short, into the hands of Spellman. Spellman's going to get fouled by Chris Painter Jr. here with 9 seconds left to go in this one, and the Ducks are feeling it. The Ducks are about to pull off a major upset as Chris Painter Jr. fouls out as well. He's now the 3rd Raider to foul out in this one. An incredible upset here from the Stevens Ducks. They're hailing from New Jersey, made the long trek out here, and they're about to eliminate the host, the University of Mount Union Purple Raiders, here on day 1 of the NCAA tournament. David Dixon will enter for the final 9 seconds in this one, and Andrew Keller will re-enter the game as Chris Painter Jr. takes a seat after he fouls out of this one. You got to credit the Ducks here. They never gave in. Came out with an early 10-0 lead as Spellman's first free throw is up and in. Looked at times as though the Raiders were going to come away and start pulling away at the victory. But Matt LaCourte is also a big reason why they come away with the victory here tonight. He had 33 points. He takes a seat, gets a strong ovation from the Stevens fans in the crowd and his fellow teammates.
Yeah, great game from LaCourte. Really stepped up when the Ducks needed it and was able to provide much-needed security to that lead.
Scarios turns the ball over here. That's how the season will end for the Raiders. The Ducks are going to continue dancing here. Stevens pulls off the upset, 84-74, and they'll be heading to the second round of the NCAA tournament as they get set to take on Williams here at the MAC tomorrow night at a 5:50 tip-off. An incredible upset by the Stevens Ducks here. And Davis, what are your final thoughts here on this game and overall Mount Union season?
Yeah, it was defense that prevailed for the Ducks, as they did a great job of containing the Purple Raiders into this game, making them shoot 41% from the field and 35% from 3. But on their own, on the offense, shot 61% from beyond the arc, as well as 45% from the field. But I think where the Purple Raiders definitely did not do well, but they needed to, was shoot the free throws, finishing 7 for 15 with a 46% clip, and the Ducks finishing 19 for 25 with a 76% clip. So definitely did a great job of defending the Purple Raiders and getting a lot of pressure on their shooting. But The host team just coming up a bit short here as Stevens finishes them off 84-74, as the seniors are going to really wish what was going to happen if they did advance to the second round of the NCAA tournament.
That's for sure. Stevens with an incredible upset here. Very disappointing way for the Raiders season to end with back-to-back losses here. First in the OAC championship game, then of course here in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Fortunately for the Raiders, the majority of this team will be returning next year. Julian Berry's the only senior that's actually leaving. A lot of the seniors on the squad will be returning for their 5th year. So the Raiders definitely going to have the majority of this squad back. We'll see if they have a better result, as now 2 disappointing finishes back-to-back. Lost last year in the first round of the OAC tournament, and here, first round of the NCAA tournament. But credit to the Stevens Ducks. The Ducks are going to continue dancing here, pulling off the incredible upset of the host Mount Union Purple Raiders. They will be facing off against the Williams Eafs. We'll be on the call for that game tomorrow, as well as second round action of the NCAA tournament. Just taking a look at the final stat line leaders. First for the host, the Mount Union Purple Raiders, Darrell Newsom finished with 22 points. Christian Parker finished with 14 points. Chris Painter, 11 points for the Raiders. And for the Ducks, they were led by Matt LaCourte, who had 33 points overall to lead the Ducks to victory. Alec DiPetrantonio finished with 15 points, while Connor Coffey had 14 points. Disappointing way for the Raiders season to end as they fall in an upset to the Stevens Ducks here on 91.1 WRMU and the men's basketball live stream. Special shout out to Brian Martell for keeping us on the air all throughout today. We greatly appreciate all your hard work back in the studio, Brian. And signing off here for Davis Roby, I'm Jacob Attar. Raiders will fall here tonight. We'll be back tomorrow as the Stevens Ducks will be facing the Williams Eafs in the second round of the NCAA tournament.